Yama Gana de Simame na draw Emma Makwaba, Emba JD TV, na Facebook radio, so Brasso Sunday in Bray, and some for Atasatasino, and now Wadden a bed dead documented so this year. Kweku Yopoo did media which Yame and found a channel so. Seko Piemo away Facebook page now and the demo live or Honor. JD TV na so ni radio sound so ko piemom o YouTube page nya sam ketwa o and then some become was be there ya and then the myanga sami producer o koya no koya sound so abayam news editor ya chesa ne de and some no obogo no mama me and the videos and na so pictures a wo show home in adamment no and then bibia edemu Yopoo ho no me no ka say de ko piemom o Facebook na YouTube na o be ya de o be bi a share e ho no mabusuam and then brace de basum de bufu no po bufu damba de say tie ni dagie na muntie ensem no anase Kasiebo no na poso ebiem ya Kasiebo mu obeti se nedwe yi enna chese soafo ya o hwe sika sem so nyo focus o to foto kopie mu e o mase be fie ya chese de oman ko masika o na kokutu ga na kopie mu no e do den se o do be na ja to ga yo chim se oman ganam e ka dodo ya de ne de o efi se don joma de mama na fe so ndi se ba betena se ne de ya de a o ma hwehwe ati e kai wo ni na mu na kan de e yekuma de mu hwe ni se o mbeti na e de front wa se ani se ban no enko awieye so and now betty our Kasiebo we say a cyber security authority form at the Kokobo at the Amani Titri Omwam Omnenane and Ambos restaurant and hold on sem and Kofun for Bon Copy and a year above for 10,000 so at a year Kofusika or prayer and family no Kasiebo Omden for Bon Sem at me other to a jam. So for Osher Jessica Sam and Ambos so for Shem I agree culture and our face so more and some no for Ameria Emilia Atta. Edin Sebia betuja yo chimsem aya amabo college na aya dia even for share SC management no ka say de and about 70% enterprise o be wi e ma fe so additional for apotemo entity here sanso so and obeti e we Kasiebo mu ebisem woko piemo e we aya drip aya initiative ya aya break nana aduda go for the kanga na man penyen betuja no ka say wonderful e so da betuja say aya dia sanso share no e de nwa ho be na e o man ga na for no ka say de ga na for so emfa so mo bomu amaniwem eso do bebe na e kan osmedua santem aso ndi hye kokwe po maje pinyen se be do so nsani mu na mo edi amama memfa se dem production team am o mo ma chi do mo me akasa me editor and then be so I am editor o ya san so ade producer I am social media de and bibia oye owusu a ono pe ene de du mi di enhyemu ewo enyumbre ndo nsia Kasiebo isu monje brem na ensem no yentete na pebe mo emfa emam Yanda se afe ya Kasiebo no enchebu eniem ene due ena soafo ya ohwe sika samso no miafo kesa ato 40 gogo piemo e o machebe dwefia de nya asem keto Ghana oman yi na ye komo sika ya tesa ne de every say ndi saban no beta benwa so na so mba machebe dwefia se na mamra no asiense edu eye afini mpemu bia na o se osoafo ya ohwe sika samso na mpo saban ete so no omomode gogo piemo e machebe dwefia no mode eye nkontabuom ade bre oman Ghana fo se ne behu se ne okwanyam yesika sam no etim ekwana no ne ndedue aya dia obnomia focus autoforce akoko piemom amachebe dwefia ne de ende nsan wodo bebre na ana ode ato edwa efa yakomo sika ya tese sika ye bedi ewo afie de ye na afa sika ya dinka di dadam wo afie atwemu wo fibra ombetena abenwa so na asemba ko a onomia focus autoforce ko dina machebe dwefia onde oje simpie ni apaso ade to edwa sem every sunday sabane bedina mamu de ya de ntese e kana abandada na bogu de se etie di ya de chesende ne ya de emu odupa pan ye ya me no ka say dem opedin dia to dwa say free say ndc aban better benja so ma hwem atete e kai na e dia free one money titirum e da ye monetary policy rate o chima ya de abofam kram de abedu ye 14% me no ka say pempren e kita won sabo sumie ye o ma na say July bu sumie ye o mi de o chiremu e ya de asan hihye na no ndc aban no o matimi ahwe e yi say e ka wo ni nemom na aka ne de e popoto asa numanu be 14% pene e ka e da on mo ndc aban no e hwe say nto wasem amemo no enko wie ne de o na so ma tie fom say chenchen ye de say ne de beboam ama fin so ma sika sam etbi agent nan so onomia focus ato force ko piem o mehye be de fende de yo nan sama de to de busuam enye bi entie.
These results demonstrate that the 2026 budget is firmly on track. Targets we set at the beginning of the year were not aspirational. They were grounded in sound policy, disciplined implementation, and realistic assumptions. The performance of the economy in the first half of 2026 confirms that we're on course to achieve them. Economic growth is exceeding target. Inflation is below the projected range. Fiscal performance is stronger than programmed, and the debt trajectory is improving faster than expectation. Mr. Speaker, the detailed macroeconomic performance will be presented in subsequent sections in this review. Right, Honorable Speaker, the commitment we made to the people of Ghana are being honored, and the results are evident. And these results demonstrate that the 2026 budget
the payatin in Kenya so for Shesika Samso, no mere focus or to force no just simply na paso ya den seminar adhere to jam. Now what you may do no penny to just sem. Every end is a banner better benjan so the more de papa pay in its room, any affairs with constructions, a whole dry and other facilities, a whole drawer, man ganam, sending a bit me a boam, and many passes no 8 me aqua no much of water to be a yem. Young Mochemi say, I know the idea economic management, some more dear share yem. Edu when you come pay, a bit me a bomb face inflation, and now post a new to move boy I cost on up interest rate and as your mom and interest headed to Tonyama who do now so I don't mash up boam or matitini na Eddie everyone Menoka said the among mine Ghana will be a home at me iron hand and Menoka said to Chimsem a dear such a shade and any saban no more muji de my pan say I did some cost so and as some toss a yam a bet me up what among mine yesika seminal et me a conen crop since sem and net July and numbers are fit to see say you win yo Chips also Ghana free and ye gd my pan our NDC abide me some more and our any pa amutimi to on my iska sebi netimi aboam emo man obi atimi afa ne ho adi eno na opani ato case force ko gina mehye be defie na simpie na paso nya seboam and na obeti ye mpeda mo say ya mchiri say hey every say this abamba we nya so de nya sam kutu omo bo adwuma kasa te send and opani ade to edwaye obom amane sei na ade eche ensem trofo obroko piemom e o mehye be defie this sebi na eto yenim.
President Mahama inherited an economy on its knees. Right, Honorable Speaker, the economic crisis of 2022 was not merely an accident. It was the consequences of a series of wrong policy choices. Choices about reckless spending, choices about excessive and binge borrowing, choices about lack of accountability, and a failure to level with the people of Ghana about the true state of the Ghanaian economy. Mr. Speaker, the consequences of those wrong choices for the Ghanaian people were so severe. The cedi depreciated at levels never seen before, eroding savings, businesses, business capital, and purchasing power of millions of Ghanaians. Inflation exceeded 50%, dramatically increasing the cost of living and placing basic necessities beyond the reach of many people. Real disposable incomes declined sharply. Interest rates surged, making credit expensive for the private sector. Investor confidence collapsed. International reserves fell to extremely low levels. International credit rating agencies downgraded Ghana's sovereign debt to levels never seen in our history. Mr. Speaker, Ghana lost access to the international capital market. The previous government implemented most painful debt restructuring program that imposed crude and painful haircuts on domestic and external bondholders. Financial institutions and individual bondholders also suffered significant losses, with many losing their lifetime of savings. Even pensioners were not spared the burden of crude and painful haircuts under the DDP. The Speaker, and businesses closed or relocated, jobs were lost, and many households that had escaped poverty fell back into hardships. Mr. Speaker, this is an honest account of the economy and the one that His Excellency the President inherited.
The Payatin and Kane, I saw for Jessica Samson, no young focus out of forcing and Obama Amani same. Now, Obroko Piemo, our Machab de Favor, Bra, the I medium budget review, no Eddie to Janum. And open this also to HM7. I state owned enterprises in and I had a Mashabwa, and my friends, so Modomina, Ebedi Kasubu, Mabasha, to me as a Senate Buam, Yana offense, I come for some to Tom to Yana, but I come for some more spending on Nina Etmia from the Timia Bomb, my Jessica Sam, Etmia Conesan Sam. So state owned enterprises for almost Penisicam. I win here, and I'm supposed to turn your man win here, Bansana, or my neighbor can say chong. The sense normal shout to your man now, the Bibia under control, I mean, I say, dear. And the Oko Piemo, I was state to enterprises, I would do and the child manga nomination, dear. And the Masha Abuam at the dear, the Bibia Abba under control, and the Oko Mom, unnecessary spending, dear, oh, my year from Martin say a chain. Yamloka said, dear, Odomia Fork is out of force in Eboma Yam. Yo, James as Sansi Shaway, and I debit me up, poor pie, my face on Quadanda, yeah, but try state owned enterprises so no nina etimi abras na etimi aboam ahye eye ya physical discipline mu ehye dem na etimi aboa pan ma public sector na pose adwumako yinam no obia etimi ho ahnya na banom sikedie anampo se sika omo spending ewo omo enwuma ehwam eno opani ebuma ma ne yese ochemi say your state owned enterprises for no ntitu ni mpani for CEO ya omoda danu yina no so mo hwe aboam etu ho anamo anampo so mo hwe atotonyama yia sanyama yina no ede ebetimi bodem no order a President John Dramani Mahama sempre obaye no ma hwem adding to trade bebrina etimede gu akwam and the fshare aboma state owned enterprises ni na no omadi aye mraso na etimi abom unnecessary spend na posika yedi ni basabasa di na no etimi abrase odomia focus wato force ko just simple na paso na nde o apre mu mankasa yentie no.
The 2025 budget reset expenditure to 2023 nominal levels, eliminating wasteful spending that had weakened fiscal management over the years. As a result, primary expenditure declined sharply from 18.7% of GDP in 2024 to 13.2% of GDP in 2025. Mr. Speaker, a 5.5% adjustment without hurting economic growth. Most important. Right, Honorable Speaker, the primary balance also improved from a deficit of 2.9% of GDP in 2024 to a surplus of 2.5% of GDP in 2025, placing public debt firmly on a downward trajectory. Mr. Speaker, a fiscal adjustment expenditure led by 5.4% of GDP in one calendar year. Mr. Speaker, this sent an unmistakable signal to Ghanaians, investors, and other development partners that fiscal discipline is the new order. Mr. Speaker, government also recalibrated the IMF program, shifting the emphasis from revenue-led to expenditure-led fiscal consolidation to achieve a fairer sharing of the adjustment burden. We amended the Public Financial Management Act to institutionalize a binding fiscal rule requiring a minimum annual primary surplus of 1.5% of GDP and a debt-to-GDP ceiling of 45% by 2034. These reforms signaled that fiscal indiscipline would no longer define the Ghanaian state.
Nipa yatini Kenya aya so for Jessica Samson and for Keso out of force in agenda and the dream. Ogopi Mamasa be your friend, the simple and Passonia Samwa and the Omicron Mosicanom, or the na Ediagu or Babia Yegina say as on minor, a Queen Faso Yato to Jessica Sam. Now outside media see and opinions and so the two yourself. Every say a ban about transit and the taxes are who do to say who him, and no better say levy, or better say as one levy COVID-19 levy, COVID-1, there's a levies I would do be brand vata hold what they say one time. All levies are who young one that is a binder down. I just saw a good Magana man for say a tongue. So my dear entry nothing so for Sika, and go says can put somebody yo or minor at the empodia and the bow on the ultimate ample them. And no penny agency pen apostle yo chemisem. Every say and this a binder better in the Yadoma shop boam, and my friend so my answer carry brina, I will air levies a wood drum, I will on my minute in the year is a levy at a send them. Air president and another Dunko Kufad Ghana Mampany Dada. All about two a judge is a minimum case they about so Ghana 4 million Cassanyas and those and once the Quran the charges said that's what they said in a Yas and Kataja said. Banks me produce or tramment and I know 50 Ghana cities a charges required that's a preku 2 CDC. Hey, or Jim wants yes, I don't know penny Eboma yes, every cent is abandoned by the unnecessary can't say levies and opposite taxes in a day. I had a mashup boy a yin a dear few mind or kind of I don't include the levy a vat I would be a wunya in anum. Your James and this abandoned my idea or Martin nephew and Minoka say the Ghana form. I don't think Ghana for you come on man Ghana so much in some wine how Manka Sam is as a side levy never and a mum quantity to a driver for a uncle to crumple. Yes, levy a dazzle, said Sieni Baba Fuso Biano, Yaminoka said, dear, or penny agency penny apostle your chim say, some bread dear, or Ghana for your die and that levy bien will be a mad bomadiam, out polishing not that the phone mind the Ghana for, or Bian Bosse, or Penicas so at 14 could jam a shabby few and day, and Simon would do so, dear, in TB, 11, you know what.
Please, I now wish to speak directly to every Ghanaian listening to me this afternoon. To the market trader whose purchasing power has improved because inflation has fallen. To the entrepreneur who can now borrow at lower interest rates to expand their businesses. And to the worker whose income now stretches further because the cedi has stabilized. These improvements are not abstract statistics. They are the dividend of sound and competent economic management. We recognize that sacrifices required to restore the economy were significant and that many households continue to face challenges. But we also know that the foundations of Ghana's economy are now firmly in place. Fiscal discipline has been restored. Macroeconomic stability has returned. Confidence has been rebuilt. And the institutions needed to safeguard these gains have been strengthened. Under the leadership of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, Ghana is not going back. Ghana is moving forward. Mr. Speaker, the government that has delivered these results over the past 18 months has earned the trust to continue implementing the reforms that will secure Ghana's long-term prosperity.
The Payati in Kenya so for Shagana Sika Samsunian for Keso, a 2-4 in the Anna Yakotianum. Now, during the Yasi and open the Agena, so as Chemusem. I had the Andy Samayo Kono, Brambleton, Ayam Benjamin, and the Yasan Petuam. Challenges are wood watches on Baby Facey, or Bana Bandadan, Refi, and Benjamin, and the Yasan Petuam, which is so much. On my train, a just no Adam Marshall brought to your maid Naminoka said the stability of his driver recovery in the one more dear, I share up to me at 7 BM, et me a jet and now so Ghana. Your challenges are wood and amposem, and your man boy who as I walk a economy minimum. Or Marshall brought to be Aminoka said the BB the Yopoo Aminoka said dear. Ghana for see a die and there's a President John Dramani Mahama dear, or drink Ghana for whom, or bad temper, only Nimbamuyam common. Your chim say, any see a buying, or Mama Bagana for brought to Sasaniam, can abanda daba ya bebo Ghana for bro say tendency ka would rather abanda dani jia ye go mubotomo ebi so di bo mo de tutu kwan enya se boja me no ka se po de ebi kwa ko pie bo US I also ye hye omo ebe pie mo Ghana mi se na mbra ni mo di se de tene se de fata don abusua ayade am opening keso ato for se jesi pie ni apaso yo chem se sani she we na na po se challenges am eye endi se ban no ebe be to ye no ya de ma hwaboa adi bibia to na kwama dem se asphalt no ya me no ka se de bibia demo a ti say I would say Ghana for the die and die san say bibia no musa challenges in there doors there na so no on be share aboa e bibia finetimi aboa amo man e kan ko etimi akonenim na fe nso puntu man de ayade on be share aboa pa ye odomia for case ato force yem so for am o hwe sika sem so and the parliament to enti.
The progress Ghana is recording today did not happen by chance. Some have suggested that our recent macroeconomic gains are simply the product of good fortune. Others have attributed the recovery solely to the debt restructuring program or the IMF program inherited in 2025. But Mr. Speaker, I firmly disagree. Our recovery is as a result of superior economic management. Speaker, for emphasis, I firmly disagree. Ghana's recovery is as a result of superior economic management. Debt restructuring may create fiscal space, but it does not create fiscal discipline. Right, Honorable Speaker. An IMF program may provide a framework, but it cannot substitute for sound policy, disciplined implementation, and political will. Sustainable economic recovery is built on good policy choices, competent economic management, and disciplined execution, and most importantly, courageous leadership. Mr. Speaker, the evidence before us is overwhelming. Ghana's recovery has been driven by a deliberate program of economic reforms implemented since President Mahama assumed office in January 2025. These reforms have strengthened public financial management, restored fiscal credibility, improved revenue mobilization, reduced fiscal risk, and reinforced macroeconomic stability. The results speak for themselves. Every major macroeconomic indicator has improved significantly. These outcomes are not accidental. They are the product of reforms, discipline, and sound economic management.
The payatin in Kane, a swafo Yoshi Sikasan, Union for Kisso at 2 Forsen, and a Cotianom, a JD TV na face in radio or Sugusa Witty, but that's a coco Piemon, a Facebook page in a Bushanya, some go to your Yopoo or Honors Answer, and a copiemo away YouTube, Bunana, oh, ye dim pampe, so Babunabujam Wadiam, so do adventure about Hormone at the Mam nothing so shame. I'm a for a being so asher or Honor Yansanam, a bet me a boy, I'm a Jume Diano, et me up with an impa a yim. Not yet 2 Casabon so they could Piemon. Ewo aya swaya anaposem ejubekuo ya mudin ede cyber security authority fa ka chem ya mro ka say dem de kokobo ede to Ghana for in anim titirum ene omom ye restaurant anaposem omom no nuane ton ewo restaurant ahodo nne emo oman Ghana so mutem sem Ghana for adodo abaso actually sika be 300,000 Ghana cedis na cities canon 3 billion ya meno ka say na enam online eye ejumekuo bi atasem anampose online ekwam nipa bonifo bi abo ewura online portals ahodo na mpose kwan mfa so am omoda ode nuane afi restaurant ahodo inanam de omuchem sem ayade nkofu bi anye nipa bonifo yo mabo ewura sa insihyewe inam atesem no ka say de embim krampo no echem sem ayade obi bi ko betimi ode nuane sem okwakodi abusuan gonko wi asense sika ne de ato afa ba bia kwankoka esoye anampose restaurant for no ensa yo no ka say de cyber authority for elbom amane na no muchem sem ayade ebeto edwa no ayade am etimi epagya nimu anaposi sika boten ya omotimi amafo bebre na etimi ahwere efi January ebepim June afie mu no esombo 296,083.68 ameno ka say wani sika esombo ya to say afi January anasa bosumi January ebepie mu June no eni sika Ghana fa hodo bebre na no etimi ahwe mu chemsem samu ya sam kuntembo no ayade abon ho prensa 3 times echese esi ewo 2025 mo jemise 2025 de sika Ghana for ehwe enam online scam so 84,592 atesene de cyber authority for elbomo amanye se also Ghana for na omomani ede ho yim na mbramden amaneboy eba abonte no mu chemise ayade frosters ahodo na no ayade mo target restaurant na afenso so no omom tonton anyama wo online no ni na na tesene de obomodira etape ekomo mgogo search ni ma hunsem ogogo no biam ye obabi a from no Google search anampo se Google map and afenso other online platform no gbowura hono ma enya semketo honom na tese omomodea edi oyo munjuma die e wo honom na no mu chemusem se Google for no so no Gogo no so no kokopie mo no baby omo chese edit anampo sem show your concern bibisa ha omo cheme anyina no ayade am sa nipa bonifo mo modea ebo wura ho no ndo mbo wura ho no nya sem ke to de send edit de omo edit be brena ho no ma chese ndo mo wiepem no ma dane mobile money sika na mobile money account sanka o sanka sika no kokopie mo omo legitimate restaurant owners no so no be bo menya musika na afin so aduan no mo dan no emonsa akano no ma dane no ma edit number no mo yi number no from do de to no ma me no ka say die omo chem say ya dem awomodin epagya ni mu efi 11112 efi 61 emu ya tese afi 2025 ni danka da 61 me no ka say dia afi 2026 die ade pagya ni mu akwaye 112 ya tese ne die omo bomu amane ya omo chem say suggest feature na ewa gogo so no awso mo hwe no mu de hu edwuma na eno ana tese cyber security authority for so ade bomu amane say sia no awso ma ankwanko na afenso Ghana fo ina mo mani de ho papam se de betimi aboa ama afenso sa online dwumede na koso ina no so ama wani anda wode ndo obi de o se kan ebedwa nanka wo bra wanka sa no onye crowd recent no obia oda bibi e wo online ya omomode ama nani nda na afenso sa so de futuro ede ma restaurant ahodo na pese omomode omudwuma na so omomtonton ade e wo online ahodo ina sa so mu ina omomani da no mo security no anapo se internet security omomani ekwo no yiri mu pampe se na betimi aboam ama ayesa nipa bonifo yo omantimi ambo anwuru me ba ne sa ne de na se Ghana for esika na etimi ekwo no na chesem cyber security authority for so ebom amane se omuchem sem sai we ina no mo ye hihye we ina ye de betimi aboa pan ye emoman etimi akone na man Ghana for so no omo ye gide mapa wo bra mu de omudwuma e wo online enso Awie ya to Kasiebo no so ye kokopie mu. E Gomoa Amwanda ya me no kase de ade hye ye mo ho mo so mo de sede. Ere to mo mra hye bedwani anim onumya for Desmond say na daroma. Omo modern me bibi enfo aye omo kwan na fe so omo toilet facility ati sane dem atete price e konte bra mo hwe no baby enfo de say betimi aboam e ma fe so potem ho no bia etimi enya eye bia ya osebio obetimi agya ne nan e wo ho no etimi aboam e ma hundie nsem etimi agya mapam na eno na NDC branch chairman ya ono e wo Gomo Amwanda Onomyanfo Stephen Kiso also did to Jayo Chemisem. Stanley Shewe Nano, a yadomode at the Sadia to a Ghana, a president, and then posted the tissue on Marshall Janice and other moment the entry near information still bit me aboa. My friends so some potemo in normal to me and your more Eddie Zebe Banum, and dear mo and some and no jet simply a pass you Chemse, or that the Sadi be also the to a district chief executive and other room. I had their visit a hold on the Doma Yawaba Sasa, a committee, and also every bright DC. Ebe serono emo hwe le hu puntu e papa bia wo me senti no ade sede no de to ye mra che bidwene se na daroma omomoden embo am no time aboa ama hu die sem etimi eja ne nan so
Yan fi no ba start to right man 2 years ni me ko duni on wi ye ko za mo na ye ha ne de just mo ka to right on ye man de bia wo ya NDC for kuma de bia wo ye NDC for kuma am na o ye na mo ye ya nse e said that's mo na ni pay for de mo ye to right man na NDC for kuma ye nyim benyam MPP why what we my anhwe no committee center wo ye ya na o se bo no on wi nse se no ye pa ne so o ma ye me na NDC for kuma ye nyim benyam manu kase
Yo, yeah, Papa Honorable Desmond. I am a yeti yao, baby. Yawa yeti there. Kwane inje on my mamwanda, mine. Why then? Was she a gumami in to me? Yeah, by the Desmond Queno. I'm a sister, you, yeah, by a toilet, you want not cheddar when you're the only insurance. Where some do it, she a toilet is with the ye. Honorable Nana, the DC wo nyinara wo beboto a ono kra we begina ho abato da Brian no de ye ho edina we gina ho wa du a ne pos mu we yi bi o da ma Brian no ne mo yo na bo that's one la nka obo hye kuran ma eduma o te dem na ye dori hwe ne nyasa kanti onche na yin ye den be mo hwe amona man de toilet hwe ko o te dem ye je nan bia hwe ma ye 2 years a ye ba ade hu ya hwe ni biara e hwe na onu so fro nti yesre Sony yesa kanchi ayi nembum other kwansi be yenji obi anasa mpanyinfo no bi baba bobo ayen pa ne ye wu da boabo no nso de saka kan ochina wo bebe ya obeka de bia nkofu twetwa ne nenti no wa nti yesa na bo desmo de ombomodina da obeba bohwe amwanda ye je nan bia no wa ye misisari edi ya wankasa
omo ye to mundi e ya de hye ye omo e wo Gomo Amwanda no mo ya de sede ade to mo mra hye bedwani enu se madaro mo modiam etwomani embe hwem de timi aboam ama fezu toilet facility ya omo ni e ho no timi aboam wo mo so mo ye bi ma hunidi ho nsem no etimi agya ne na so ho no opani anasa ade hye ye omo ho no mo ebomu amane sei e de ache yem wo sa dwumedi na suppose wo sa nhedie mu yase no ena ya de unit committee ya ono so e ho no mo e de na de sede so de tu mu nsem sa hye we na pose sa ha we na ya de atro mo komo ache pa yi ni sentidom eba ne sa na ema hundie nsem ende kwankan pa de nya sampeto ewem na aye challenges ahodo mo face ho mo tinsent no omodia enhwe no mo nya bibi emfa emmo mo de timi aboam mo ho mo so hu didi nsem etimi akonanim aye tesande ade hye bebri na nso wie no mo so mo de manu di nsem etu yenim sei
yeto abarma na wotuma aye de meduma na make se chirewi ma me de yachi mama for ko toilet odugu policy bag no da abato because toilet ni yi ko yi nam kwan hu a na mantum nanto science awo kwan ho no bra nye easy but in them no obi de ne ratio hu na disappoint na in fact aha yimpa no nti e be sere nde na yidi mu oya ye ba yanya na da kwan do amwan na tu de sum nukromani nti se obeye de manyim nyama de ma amwan na amwan na fo so yegoni diam se be ma na kasa animunyam de me sere nde mama NDC for wo ko yi mu wondi yaw o sa na MPP your friend say go do as me okada obeye ahemfo atena ye no waye ukwa uhu de wa ya de mo si ho kama ye program bi a yetumi obi abehu de ampa but on the doma wodi nechi wa ha what do we rehyɛ no mu no ama ma wɔre aho nti yɛsrɛ yɛpa ne kyɛw dɛ so ɔte yɛn ka gomu amo anaman ne man amoanda wɔde akomado damana no so yɛsusu yɛda na akomado dɛ amoanda yɛ nipa bi a wɔbua no wabɛto mu yɛbɛsrɛ dɛm mpɛmpɛnsua la yɛreka sɛ ɔmo
adehye yɛ te ɔmo kan ɛyɛ ɔmo anomabo ɔmo ne ɛde ɛte etwa so ɔmo so ɔmo da ɔde sɛdeɛ ɛde so ɛyɛ ɔmo mmarahyɛ bedwani ani sɛ madaroma ɔmo nyɛ tɔrɔ facility etimi aboa ma afei nso sɛbio ebi ka bebi obi a wɔyɛ baabi akɔkɔkɔtɔ na ɔmo so ɔmo yɛ ɔmo ho yɛ no ɛna adehye yɛ ɔmo hɔ nom so ɔmo de adesɛdeɛ si ɛde to yɛ nim ɛyɛ JD TV na afei nso radio ɛna wɔso gu so a wutie mɛsɛ so kɔkɔ pie mu ɛyɛ Facebook page na afei nso YouTube page na busua nsa meka nyina no ɛyɛ ade am ɛnɛ mɛ asɛ mi producer / mi news editor / mi social media den ɔno ande ɔno ma kɔ baabi a meno ka sɛ de busua wokɔ pie mu hɔ nom a mi dem pampi wɔ hɔ nom a ɛnya asɛm ketewa mo mɔde asɛ bɛkyerɛ wadwen ɛwɔ hɔ nom ɛde ama me na afei nso ahyɛ ama foforɔ ɛyɛ bi nso ahwɛ yɛto ayɛ Kasiebo nso de kɔkɔ pie mu ɛwɔ soafo yɛ ɔhwɛ agriculture ɛna afei nso yesu nso mu nsɛm onomiafo Emilia Ata akache yɛ tambre me no kasa kɔkɔ pie mu ɛwɔ ɛyɛ anomabo yɛ me no kasa de ochim sɛm ɔyɛ anomabo fisheries college project now every year after 2011 yet send them former president John Evans Atamo say na do so osi na poso mo modiam e sha se osi no every sa bre be pem sa bre de enya de punto bi atime koso mo yochim say every sa ndi si aban na betra se de o ma hwa boam esi atoa so ya me no ka se de project no edu 70% da enche only 30% de be piece no etime boam ama afen so no anomabo fisheries college no amomode etime bia no man de entity amapa ya na de hye yo mo ho no na so mo pepa so mo beje titie e ye nsuonso mu nsa na mposem agriculture mu no ma de akoko pie mu ma akodi ntitie de timi aboam emo ma ye ba no agriculture ho nsam a obi etimi ye nimde won metimi aboam emo man etimi akona mi opanin egogire simpie ni apaso ye ochim sem ayade ndisi aban de anomabo eye fisheries college no edomani so pa ye mbasha aboa anampo se akeka ho bia mbasha aboa mo de kan de timi aboam ma college no etimi complete no de mbasha aboa ma ye na bibia no etimi akọ nenimum opanin Emilia Ata ejina enemwa and the insem no ebi ini.
Strengthening the capacity of the ministry and its agencies. We have advanced institutional reforms, including strengthening staff capacity, improving operational systems, and supporting the development of professional expertise within the sector. The Ghana Fisheries College at Anomabo is a major part of this vision. Having inherited the project that commenced under Professor Mills, we are now approximately 70% complete, representing a long-term investment in the future of Ghana's fisheries sector. Cabinet has approved its governance structure and curriculum, paving the way for it to become Ghana's premier center for fisheries education, research, innovation, and professional training. When completed, the college will produce the next generation of fisheries managers, scientists, extension officers, and entrepreneurs who will lead a modern, technology-driven fisheries and aquaculture sector.
Dipayatini Kenya aya swafo ya ohwe agriculture na afesu yesu nsomo ensem no miafo Emilia Atam nene ana yakote na ochem se anomabo fom kama komantumi na nchekura no anomabo fishery project ne de eyade a omehwe ayi efro netimi aboa amantete mapa obi atimi akwajibi wo mo bitimi abebo man Ghana agriculture ho nsem netimi gyan na so pampem se obebu na abujenene ana yakote ye no ya to Kasiebo nso de kokopie mu ewo ye drip ho nsensen ya menoka sediem former national coordinator Edema District Road Improvement Program ye twantene drip no ni lante vanda point edin se betu je ochemi se every say drip nhihye ya every eye Ghana man paninda da president Nana Adedan Kweku Addo obra obehye ye no ayade ochemse ayade embomodin ekreti nwa by 5260 ediama emebunu awo manga nam se ochemse sayoma nyinanom ayade a etimi abopan ye ne nyuma ade aba omanga nam se de 16 ayade abopan eyim eno na ochemse ayade a drape nhihye no openi another president ade eba ye no ayade momodin etimi sisi infrastructure sawodo bebre na face ntitrum ene akwantempan hodo de o ma hwa aye bebre na no na tese oni sentwefo edin komo ena no ya wada ne du ya wada yi dua bosom de to so edonu miensa na ochemse every day na yinim se ene duem ana eye soafo ya ohwe yisika sam so nomiamfo okesa to forcing ego piemu wo mrahye badwa fie ko jesi pie ne apaso na odi eye omanko mosika nyina abetu jam na yehu okwan a Ghana yisika sam no etimi ACL ena ochemse kan de be ne so pa yesenka eye nomiamfo kesa to forcing no okroya ya soafo yisika sam so bomode ko piemu mrahye badwa fie other chance we nyina no abetu jwa sem free say Ghana man penny dam president na dan kokufo ado abeta banwa so ne drip nhihye yo de ba ya no ade etimomodin etime kreti nnwuma hodro ye sombo 5260 so de kan aye ne budget treaty no ho ade nka be de pa yem ye ochemse sanhye we nya no ade betimi aboa mo Ghana fuge hum drip no so mfa so de aba ama aye oman Ghana fo ade no governor Nilante Vanderpool eto so no ochemse ade Ghana man penny excellency president John Dramani Mahama ne nhihye ye de nanim anapo se na agenda de ba ye say big push initiative no ayade we mi na no bisa drip no machines awodo no betikopo no eda ye binetimi aboa pan ye man eba na ekwan ateta prese kontebe ne dem ende ommo de ahwe so afaso ama bibia no etimi agenda na so form so mu use air drip machines na ede betimi aboa pan ye yonde ochemu sem keso ato forcing ede sanse mi na no ede betu just drip initiative no etimi employ over 5,000 employers and apo say the human over 5,000 ede Ghana for there call kan aye budget reading one kabe ne pa yi ni Lante Vanderpool nsem ebi eni
for the country, as Joanna said, Ghana has become a construction site. You travel to the east of the country, we have big push projects all over. To the west, big push. To the north, big push. And all these contractors employ Ghanaians, and they are working. Okay, I'll be happy if you say the minister comes to give accurate and present data on all the people who have gotten jobs under the big push. I don't think that should be difficult to do. Right. All the contractors can tell you the number of people they have employed working. But that's direct. Direct. I'm happy that under the NEIP, jobs have been created. I'm happy that today, through the Mineral Investment Fund, some jobs have been created with people doing reclamation of devastated lands. I'm happy that even at my outfit alone, we created almost 5,260 jobs. That's great. Yes, you understand. So some jobs have been created. We may not be able to reach the target of 1 point something that we made, but at least jobs have been created. And some of these jobs are more sustainable jobs than what you did under your so-called job for boys.
The Payatin in Kenya, a former national coordinator at the District Road Improvement Program, you're trying to drop on Nilante Vanderpool and a quarter Chemisem. Saka Kessel, at to force and answer swap for your Triscan Samsung, or the Aya Sanshina, at the two Jachem, a year and Yuma who draw a year, sad drip and Shayam. President and the Kokufado, Elbert to Gamu Chemis 5,260, and Kwan Motima Modia, Abu Madame Juma Ayanka Yadenka, Abba Wapa a yim, Yanadi opening at Ninsemo a sea. Area and Peninsi may continue beyond a career or Abu Buano, Hannah Bema Quine, and then you may see Kasiebo. Ever so more, I would take you see Shabwa and this abino, Abishabwam, Abutu may name it. Sanso and cyber security authority for the community. ahwe de se bebre small world na manka sami nyaba owusu a madam ntino mom anitia adeshi